Hello everyone, I'm DTM and welcome to a very special video. As you all know, I attended the first ever Summoner Duels Tournament that was hosted by Fargus. And yeah, I had an amazing time with a bunch of other FEHTubers and thought it would be a good idea to analyze the matches that I was a part of. I did go 1-2 in the tournament, which is not as far as I would have liked, but honestly I can't complain. Everyone participating is an amazing player, and yeah, I'm so excited to finally go over these matches after like a week. I literally had to go on a trip 2 days afterwards from the tournament, so yeah, this is going to be super exciting. So going over my team, I basically scrapped together a bunch of units I had in my barracks that I thought had some synergy. The goal of this team is to basically out-threat range the opponent to be able to secure the capture area and not allow the opponent to easily get in, because if they do, they'll immediately get shredded with units like Brave Erica or Alm, who can then either canto or hit and run back to safety. So that's why I have Brave Erica here as a moonbow with a pre-charged moonbow. She is very good at deleting basically anything, as long as that moonbow is pre-charged. And Alm does have his wind sweep effect with the true damage, which is amazing at countering near save units. Near save does not yet have an NCD option like far save does with Ascendant Fjorm, so there's very little that can survive an Alm unless you outspeed Alm. And of course, Henriette is there to protect the units from any range threats that can outrange a bunch of cav melees. And so yeah, Henriette is basically my only far save unit. Literally leveled her up to 40 just for this tournament and this mode. So yeah, you love to see it, I guess. Peony is the best dancer in this mode by far, thanks to the orders effect, the buffs she gives, the dual skill, which has come in clutch, and with Lucina being the mascot, I obviously had to have Lucina as my captain. She did actually perform relatively well, although obviously there are a lot better units than her, but you know, gotta represent, right? So yeah, my first match was against Zeez Vov Gee. I started in the winner's bracket due to the pools we did earlier, and as you can see, I have the team, and going into this, I wanted to try to get as many of my units into the capture area as much as possible. That begins to start applying pressure to the enemy, and forces them to get closer to me, and because Alm and Brave Erica both have cavalry movement, they can generally take them out and then retreat back, either through Canto or through the drag back that Alm has. These did have first move and moved in Brave Marth, and so I countered that by repositioning with Lucina to bring in Brave Alm. Brave Marth is very tricky to take out, and so I knew that I needed to make sure to try to get him out of the way as soon as possible. Whether that be through Brave Erica's pre-charged moonbow, or through Alm's wind sweep effect, both of which I think would deal pretty well with Brave Marth. But yeah, Zeez decides to move in Niffle, which is a pretty good move, gives additional damage reduction to Brave Marth, and I decide to finish off my opening move by repositioning in Henriette to apply some far save coverage, and yeah, that helps protect against Legendary Micaiah, although, as you can see, Legendary Micaiah is nowhere near the rest of the team. And so here I decide to move Brave Alm up one to get into position. This will immediately threaten Brave Marth as soon as I dance either Brave Erica or Edelgard. Edelgard does have near save, and so I decided to dance up Brave Alm so that I would have the opportunity to take out, have a better opportunity to take out Brave Edelgard thanks to Weapon Triangle advantage. Although I think Brave Erica could have done so as well. I haven't calced that though, so I'm not entirely sure. The good thing about this is that I have all 5 of my units in the capture area, while I think at max Zeez would only have 3, so that would immediately give me a capture point, I believe. unless Zeez does something. But Zeez decides to think about moving away Brave Edelgard, which is a very interesting move. And I figured I'd end my turn to get the first move, and so that I can take out a Brave Erica quicker. Now, Legendary Micaiah is a huge threat to my Henriette, although if Micaiah does take Henriette out, I generally do have ways to take Micaiah out immediately, whether that's through Brave Erica, Alm, or Lucina even. And so yeah, seeing that Brave Marth is open and outside of near save range, I decided to quickly take out Brave Marth, just remove that threat, and while Ghast rearranges the matches, it was then Z's turn. So that was a good move for me because it also took out a captain, so therefore there would be no captain, and I do get extra damage thanks. I do get extra points thanks to that. So yeah, here it is very clear that Zeez wanted to have Legendary Micaiah take out Henriette, at least in my eyes, and so I believe I decided to either... Oh my goodness, Ghast, why are you doing this? I moved in a Brave Alm, just so that once I dance him up, there would be no way for Brave Edelgard to not die, essentially. I knew that Zeez moving Edelgard there was trying to protect Legendary Micaiah, and so without far save, it is very important that we take out Zeez's near save. And so, yeah. Here, there's no chance of preventing Brave Edelgard from not getting taken out. So I believe Zeez decides to try and buff up Brave Edelgard with Niffle, with the rally and the damage reduction, but as you can see, it does not work. So yeah, things are going pretty well so far. And in the next turn, I can take out either Micaiah or potentially even Niffle if I really wanted to. But Zeez decides to dance up Legendary Micaiah. And that put me into pickle, because Legendary Micaiah could then basically take out anyone she wants. And so I decided to end my turn right now, just so that I would get first move next, given that Zeez has already used their dance. So at max, Micaiah can only take out a 1 unit here. And I think Zeez decides to take out Erica as the bigger threat with a Kanto, which is a good move. I do get first move after this. The only thing that Zeez can do right now is pop the Harmonize skill, but that doesn't really do anything with his team comp. So no matter what, Micaiah is dead, essentially, in this turn. Also, I think the timing is switched. So yeah, I decided to take out Micaiah because she was the biggest threat at the time. And now Zeez obviously takes out Alm, we do the trade. I'm still in the lead at this point, but right now there is a huge... Niffle is a huge threat, and I made a huge mistake here because I was hyper-focused on Niffle. What I should have done is I should have repoed Peony out of the way, but I just did not see that Peony was in range of Dorothea. I somehow missed that, and so this put me in a really tight spot. So even though I'm still in the lead by 1 point, I can't exactly move completely out of the way because I needed at least 1 unit in the capture area. So I had to be in the corner and just hope that everything would work out. But yeah, not repoing Peony out of the way was a huge mistake on my part and costed me the game, as you'll soon see. Also, unfortunately, I do not double Dorothea, which is hugely unfortunate. Dorothea is very fast, and my Lucina does not have merges, so yeah. From here on out, basically, once Dorothea damages Lucina, my only hope is that on enemy phase, Niffle would be unable to kill Lucina after I take out Dorothea. So I tried doing that, but as you can see, it did not work. So yeah, that was a really tough loss. I still regret that mistake with Peony to this day, but it was a really good game, and Zeez is an amazing player, and yeah, I fell to the loser bracket. And literally immediately, right after this match, I had to do my next match, which is against SpeedyHawk. So SpeedyHawk is a fellow Lucina fan, so you know, you hate to see it, but I was determined to at least get one win. And so this time, I did get a first move, and so seeing the team, I decided to... It's basically an all-waifu team for SpeedyHawk, which, you know, is pretty based, but I did my standard opening, moving in Henriette as the far safe unit to protect with Erica and Cantoing up, and then repoing Lucina up with Alm just to provide that protection. And so, yeah. From here, I believe Speedy really wanted to move, I think, Micaiah in, or Henriette. But at least in my perspective, this is really good because if I move Alm up one, I can get everyone into the capture area. And as you can see, I pretty much had this play set out. It's very similar opening to the last match. But SpeedyHawk is very determined to get Micaiah in action, because Micaiah can definitely take out Henriette, the far safe unit. Here I was pretty unsure of what might happen. There is a possibility that SpeedyHawk could reposition Micaiah, and so that would immediately threaten Alm. But given that I still had basically a turn to handle that, if that happens, I could just swap Henriette with Lucina, and that would protect Alm, and then I can immediately attack Micaiah right afterwards. And so that just deals with that threat. And as you can see, this formation is very effective in just pressuring the enemy to be outside the capture area so I can get capture points. It's a very oppressive threat range that is protected by far save. It's not perfect, as you'll see in the next match, but it is pretty effective in ensuring that outrange and ensuring that pressure. Again, the only really things that can outrange this is ranged calves or Yuri, but you know, Yuri's Yuri. And so yeah, I get a capture point. I forgot what Speedy did here, but I basically just swapped Henriette up just to provide a little bit more protection in case we want to do a hit and run, so that Erica could retreat back safely into Henriette's far safe range. And I believe Speedy at this point was encouraged by chat to just full send Micaiah. But yeah, I'm basically just ending turn just to see what Speedy could do. I do have the point advantage, so it is Speedy's initiative to attack me. I don't have to do anything. SpeedyHawk needs to be the one that does something. So I'm just basically waiting for SpeedyHawk to make a move. And he actually did a really good play here in that he threatened my Lucina, which in turn threatened the Henriette. And there was no way that Erica or Alm could reach Micaiah here from where he is. So that was a really good play and forced me to evaluate a lot of my options. I did contemplate letting Henriette just take it, and then Erica could just immediately take Micaiah out and then retreat back. But I didn't exactly want to get rid of Henriette that soon. And so the alternative is to dual skill and dance up Lucina and then move Lucina out of the way. But that would also mean wasting my one dual skill right now, which is still very early. It's only turn 2. But in the end, I decided to play it safe. I'm taking no risks after the last match. And yeah, I decided to dual skill Lucina. And yeah. I believe SpeedyHawk is now trying to get everyone into range, but I just simply move Lucina out of Micaiah's range and everything's good, and then I score another capture point, which is good. And so yeah, I decided to end turn with SpeedyHawk. End turn with Henriette, and SpeedyHawk decides to move Micaiah downwards, again threatening my Lucina, which in turn threatens Henriette, so I move Lucina down, just as a quick move. But here, after SpeedyHawk moved Henriette, I saw an opportunity to potentially threaten that Micaiah to put her in the stops, while also still maintaining a good advantage into the capture area pressure. Here, I knew that Micaiah is probably going to get repoed out, but that will continue to waste actions, and again, not many units of SpeedyHawks will be in the capture area, so I could still score capture points. Yeah, this is the full stall moment right now, but, I have to do what I have to do. And yeah, as you can see, all 5 of my units are in the capture area, while at max, I think SpeedyHawk can move in 4. So that immediately pressures SpeedyHawk to probably dance up Lucina and move Lucina into the capture area just to prevent that from happening. Which, as you can see, SpeedyHawk does. And so I decide to threaten the Tsubasa with my Erica. I'm not entirely sure if Erica could take out Tsubasa with that guard bearing, but turns out it doesn't matter because SpeedyHawk decides to repo Tsubasa out, which also gave me another capture point. And so as you can see with this formation, it's very hard to actually get into the range. But SpeedyHawk does a really good move again, and positions Micaiah in a way where Brave Alm and Brave Erica cannot reach her. And so at this point, I was thinking about taking out Plumeria and trading, because having a dancer makes things very unpredictable against the enemy. And so Plumeria either has to dance from above or to the right of Micaiah. And so either way, either Alm or Brave Erica will be able to take Plumeria out. And so SpeedyHawk decides to dance Plumeria from the right of Micaiah, and so that meant I use Erica to take out Plumeria. And while SpeedyHawk does take out Erica that way, it does remove a dancer, which, again, just gives you so many options in this mode that it's pretty... I think it's worth the trade in my eyes. And so that also means that Micaiah is potentially in a danger area if I move Alm up 1, and then dance, and then just take Micaiah out. I was contemplating this, and I'm pretty sure Lucina would have been able to survive Brave Micaiah anyways. There's the risk that Micaiah does get repoed back, but in that case, we can simply just dance Alm and then bring him back into the capture area, and that'll still score us capture points. But SpeedyHawk decides to protect Micaiah with Lucina, putting full trust in Lucina, which I really respect. But as it turns out, it wasn't enough, and we get a nice KO on Lucina. But yeah, ending turn, SpeedyHawk can now take out Alm, or Henriette, but at this point we've won. Because there's no dancer, there's no way we could get routed, and we could just like literally move everyone away. But I decided to take out Micaiah because for some revenge, and SpeedyHawk is unable to take out Lucina, and so that's GG's. And decides to go out in style, which I'll have to confess, I was not watching the stream, so I had no idea this happened. But it's so funny and hilarious, so I really respect that from SpeedyHawk. And so yeah, I managed to get a win in this tournament, which I was super happy about. And yeah, that gives me a win in the loser bracket, and so my next opponent was ZeShado. So yeah, facing off against ZeShado, ZeShado has a very scary team with Yuri, Volk, and a near-safe Arden with Bridal Catria. So yeah, I did not get first move, so ZeShado used foul play shenanigans to get, I think it was Volk in position. And with the triangle attack, Arden could just reposition Volk in. And as you can see, that is extremely effective in taking out my Henriette. And from here, I had two choices. I could either take out Volk with Alm, or I could take out, I could dance up Brave Erica and take out Volk with the pre-charged Moonbow of Brave Erica. And I think this was the first mistake I made, in that I wasted the Moonbow on Volk, which would have been really helpful against Arden. And so that meant that in order to take out that near-safe Arden, I would have to use Alm, and that's it. Because Arden, without the pre-charged Moonbow from Brave Erica, is able to take out Brave Erica. So I think that was the first mistake I made, because Alm probably isn't as impactful in this map as Brave Erica would have been with that pre-charged Moonbow. But from here, there is a lot of questions on what might happen. And so I was really contemplating my options and decided to move Erica out of range of Yuri because, again, we do not have a far save to protect. And here, I had the opportunity to take out Arden, but that would leave me vulnerable to having Peony get taken out. So I decided to repo Peony out of the way, figuring that I can take either Arden out next turn, or we can just continue to stall. And so, with the triangle attack, Arden gets moved out of the way. ZeShado did really good play there in keeping Arden safe, away from Brave Alm. And so I decided to dance up Lucina with a dual Peony. And so here, as you can see, that Yuri is heavily threatening my Alm, and I knew that at this point on, I need to protect Alm in order to take out that Arden. So I had two options. I can either repo with Brave Erica and get Alm out of the way, or I can move Alm himself. And so I decided to move out Alm. But that unfortunately meant that Alm has used up his action, so unless I use the dual skill, he's done. And so I don't have an answer to Arden. And so I think what I should have done here is to dual skill Alm, I think. But here, I was really contemplating what I needed to do. The good news is that it is very unlikely that either of us will score a capture point in this case, because I can simply move Brave Erica in order to prevent ZeShado from getting a capture point. But in the end, I decided to just end turn with Lucina and see what ZeShado does. And ZeShado decides to use Arden to repo up Yuri, and that protects Yuri from Brave Erica. And unfortunately from here, I get checkmated because Yuri can easily just take out Alm. Like, full stop. And I can't do anything about that. So I think what I should have done is I should have just used the dual skill on Alm immediately so that I could have that option moving forward. But as you can see, I did not do that. And so Brave Erica, without the Moonbow, cannot take out Arden. And I'm basically stuck. So here I was thinking maybe I can force Yuri to either attack Erica from a dangerous position or be forced to like do that for all. But yeah, from here on out I've lost, and there's really nothing I can do with that Arden that's just so strong. I can't one-shot, which is really unfortunate, and Yuri is just freely able to one-shot all of my units. And so from here, it's basically GG's. So yeah, looking back on this, I should not have wasted the Moonbow on Erica. I should have immediately danced Alm with the dual skill once I did that, or used the repo on Erica to get Alm out of the way. I think those are some things that I can definitely improve on if I just looked ahead and saw that Yuri could safely get in with Arden. But yeah, I mean, this is the first tournament, so it's a huge learning experience for me, and ZeShado is an amazing player, so I'm definitely not that disappointed, although obviously I wished I could have advanced more, but it is what it is. And yeah, huge congrats to ZeShado, and very great games. ZeShado's just going to finish that off. And yeah, those are all the matches that I participated in. Went 1-2, again, not as much as I would like, but I can't be too mad about it. Very happy that I was able to get a win. And yeah, this was a very fun tournament. And again, huge shoutouts to everyone that participated. Huge shoutouts to Zeez, SpeedyHawk, and ZeShado, who are so amazing of players in this mode. And huge shoutouts to Ghast as well for organizing this so quickly. It's honestly incredible how fast this came to be. And yeah, I had an amazing time, and I'm super excited to continue to be participating in future tournaments should they occur. And yeah, let me know what you think of this tournament. Did you love it? I personally did, obviously. Elder V did win, which I was super happy for. Huge congratulations to Elder V with that palace strat. And again, thank you everyone that watched this. If you enjoyed it, be sure to like, subscribe, hit the bell, all that jazz to help support the channel. Once again, I'm trying to reach 500 subscribers by the end of the year. Only takes 5 seconds to subscribe, but it truly does mean a lot to help support this channel. And yeah, see you all next time.